Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight 44, aka Zect 44, and today I'm going to be playing some more Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Now, if you're looking for plot, or anything that's mandatory for the game, go and switch to the next part. This is going to be completely optional today. And, well, if it's optional for me to play it, it's also optional for you to watch it. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about that last cutscene we just seen, the last part, in which a character that was introduced from Up Your Arsenal, Scrunch the Monkey, well, he appears for no reason in this game. And, well, if this was anything more than a light-hearted game. Its story shit to begin with, so it's really nothing. Most of my complaints are about how stupid the story is, not necessarily in how they deliver it and the progression. But I really, if this was supposed to be a good story, having Scrunch come out of nowhere. And, having any character come out of nowhere just for the sole purpose of getting the plot, going. Not necessarily going, but just continuing the plot. Having a character come out of nowhere to just have the plot continue. Kind of, to begin with, it's stupid. And, just bad writing. But Scrunch happens to be in 2 cutscenes in this game. Holy shit! My friend is finally back on, back on Steam. He finally got his actual computer done. Sorry, that has nothing to do with you. But I've been waiting for a month for this guy to actually go and get his computer done. I'm gonna have to message him after this. But the Scrunch, he shows up in 2 actual, just 2 cutscenes in this game, and in this cutscene that we just seen, and one in the very end of the game. So we have nearly no plot significance at all, or no real plot significance, other than just to show Clank this is where Ratchet is. Go and save him. Now, what I propose they could have done to, kind of fix this would be to turn the Metalis, the Ratchet section of Metalis, which is completely optional. They could have went and used Clank for that section. Now, what I mean by using Clank for is the Clank and the Gadgebot sections, because while they might not have been the best section in the game, it wasn't the best section at all in the game, because it was kind of boring. It was partially because it was introducing things that never come up again in the actual game. That little point with Clank and the Gadgebot section in the very beginning of the game on I believe it was Rylus. That never comes up again. That gameplay never comes up again. If they turned the Ratchet section into another Clank and Gadgebot section, which I believe they could have done. And they could have used the same exact area too. It wouldn't have been. They would have had to change some things, but it wouldn't have been. It would still have been possible. It would have been possible. And at the very end, they could have had like a communications tower that intercepted something, a video, whatever. Somebody in the communications section or whatever. Could have been a hacker was looking to weird files from random people. It could be contrived, but as long as Clank finds out on his own where Ratchet is, and it's not just we're in a bind. But Scrunch comes out of nowhere and saves us all, sort of situation. That just is stupid to me. It really is stupid to me. Now, I could have been talking about this how these challenges work, but really wouldn't need to. These challenges are kind of self-explanatory. You have health. Generally, you want to go do damage and always go back for the health because you're going to be losing it quite a bit. And you can also get 3 different weapons, or well, only 2 of them are weapons, but a nice little rocket, a shield, and a mine. They're useful. Generally, you want to circle around and get those things, but this one's really just a sort of hit and run little strategy. Now, Smash About can actually hit you in front and in the front end side, so you kind of want to stay away from the guy, because that shit does do 4 damage, and if you can get in a bad section like right there, I think that might have just did 3, but even then he did quite a lot of damage to me. But oh well. These sections really aren't all that bad. It's a multiplayer section. I have played the multiplayer of Up Your Arsenal and Deadlocked. Very, very little, but I have actually played them before. And this is far more boring than that would ever have been. But let's just say these Clank challenges. This actually isn't the most boring. The most boring one is the final one I'm going to show in this video. This one is far more exciting than that one, because that one's just really difficult to actually go and lose. Granted, that one would have been fun in multiplayer. Having the dumbass AIs is just, it's bad. But as I said in my Prince of Persia Sands of Time playthrough, I am a puzzle guy. I really do like puzzles. Not necessarily like block pushing puzzles, but at least anything that makes me use my head. I really do like logic puzzles, and any kind of like number puzzles and all that crap. But this actually makes you think a little bit. Now, the first few aren't all that bad, and you have quite a lot of time to figure out what are you supposed to do. Not to mention, if you do hold the command, you can easily, it pauses everything. And if you actually go into the command menu, the only one that will actually, if you don't want to actually go and do it, always go to Electrify, because Electrify won't do anything unless you need one of those things. Never go and have them in any of the other ones, because Detonator is going to fuck you up, and the bridge one's going to, screw you over. But actually, you could, in some ways, go and use that swing one. But there's going to be some areas where if you don't want to use anything, and Electrify is just going to allow you to get off the edge, while sometimes the swing will just swing you. But Yeah, these are definitely looking to be a little bit more thought-provoking. Actually, I believe in the tree house. Um, you can actually go and either create. There's either more of these Gadgebot little mini games, or there's actually a creator that you could actually go and do. It's kind of like how there was I believe there was an electrolyzer or whatever it was, little mini game maker in the Insomniac Museum, and Going Commando, which I never really actually used because, to be honest, those were boring to begin with. Not like they weren't like hacker boring. Nothing can be hacker boring. The hacker was an actual. What was it called? It was a gadget, a trespasser-like gadget. Because they have quite a lot of trespasser-like gadgets in this series, and which basically it required no skill, was incredibly long, and by incredibly long I mean it's one of the longest gadget sections in the entire series. Yay. They are the epitome of pace breaker in the series. Granted, Up Your Arsenal has quite a lot of flaws. One of the flaws being it's going away from its platforming, from it. In fact, it's supposed to be a platformer. There's a lot of sections that are just, pure, what was it called? It's just pure action game. Which, granted, one of the reasons why I don't necessarily care about that as much as other people, and I really don't care at all about, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal and how it has wonderful, just wonderful action, and less platforming is because, well, it's so good. All of the action in that game is just amazing. But the gadgets in the game suck. Oh, crap. Have you ever wanted to play sports in a Ratchet and Clank game? I don't think you did. This is boring. The epitome of boring, especially with the ad. This might actually be fun. Actually, if this was a 2-on-2 game in multiplayer, this probably would be fun. But right now, this is boring. All you're really doing is you have to get the Gadgebot into that little, like, force field thing. Oh crap, they actually got one. Oh yeah, you can actually block an opponent's toss. You almost never you're never in a position to really be able to block a pass. So in multiplayer, that would come up. But it's again in this game, it's just in single player at least. This really has no difficulty at all. You could generally just circle around and go and get it, and get another one, get another one. And the worst part about it is the first challenge needs 5, and then each other challenge needs another actual goal. And you have to get another point, and another point, until the last one actually, one of them skips, and actually requires 2 more points than the last, so the 5th one actually has 10, which is stupid. Oh, look, I actually got a skill point because of that. Don't know how. But, the only time I would ever say any of these are fun is when they actually have multiple Gadgebots going around. Because later they actually have like 4, they have 4 players, including you. And they actually have like 2 or 3 Gadgebots going around, like, a couple of, actual goals as well. It's quite faster. It's a much faster paced, and actually, especially if everybody's going to the goal you're going to with Gadgebots, you could easily just intercept them and then get like 3 Gadgebots or 2 Gadgebots into the goal in like quick succession. But other than that, this is boring. Really, if I wanted to play a sports game, I would probably go play a sports game. But to be honest, if I really wanted to play a sports game, I would probably see if I could first go and play the sport itself. If these Clank Challenges are just filler. Granted, the Gadgebot Lemmings-like challenges are fun. But the other ones are just filler that you do to get bolts. And you don't really even get all that much. It's like 1,000 bolts, 2, 3, 4, and then, you know, like an armor piece. And which later on is 5. And holy shit, you don't actually... If this was like Ratchet and Clank, you know, going commando or up your arsenal, you actually go and... When you actually go and, you know... go into challenge mode, you get a lot more bolts because there's a multiplier. The other thing is, with all the challenges you do, all of the bolt rewards like crank up about like 10 times. So if you're getting like 3,000 in the first playthrough, you're getting like 30,000, and the challenge runs, the challenge modes, I should say. Yeah. So there's no confusion. But when you actually do that, the reward is still good, because when you one actual, you know, one little skirmish, one little firefight, and in this game, in the very end of it, 3 enemies will give you more in challenge mode. Will give you more bolts than all of these challenges combined. This takes 20 minutes. That takes about 30 seconds or less. Why would I do this again? There's no reward at all. And because they don't actually give you any more like armor pieces for doing any of this shit. There's literally no reward to any of it, other than the first time you do in the first playthrough. Some of the balancing in this game is just utterly screwed up. But I've seen some pretty stupid balancing in the series. I mean, going commandos, weapon balancing was utterly terrible. The health, you know, the damage and health, you know, ratio on tools of destruction was absolutely just stupid. And it's kind of worse in this game. And at least in this game, when I actually get better armor, I know for a fact it's, you know, helping me out quite a bit. But in Tools of Destruction, when you actually go and get hit with... if you actually go and get hit when you get new armor, you never really feel any kind of boost. All you really feel is you're just keeping the same amount of hits before you die. This is the last level when you get a new piece of armor, in which if you don't get it, you're going to die in, you know, far fewer hits. But you die in like 10 hits in the first level. Yet in the last level, after you've gotten all that armor that's supposed to take off like what, 75% damage, you die in 3, even though you have like 20 times as much health. It's fucking ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Though, when you actually die in 2 hits to the final boss in this game, I think this is probably the worst, but because this actually has... This doesn't just have that health problem, but it also has the bulk problem, which the first game had. But at least in the first game, bolts, you really didn't have to manage bolts all too much, and it was never a terrible problem because you weren't forced to use the PDA. I believe you're highly recommended to use the PDA in the final boss fight, which is going to drain your bolts tremendously. Can't wait to show that off. When a boss already has a high ass health, gets a shield constantly, well, not constantly, it does go down, you get to hit the boss a little bit, but a shield that, you know, is always coming back up after you take it down. It's stupid, but oh well. See everybody. See you next time.